This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 604. Don't just teach your kids to set goals, teach them to do this, by Kalen Bruce of freedomsprout.com. Hello, old friend. I never get sick of that. Well, I also haven't done 8 trillion episodes yet like Justin and Joss, so maybe it'll grow on me, who knows. But for now, hello again, everyone. I am your new host here on Optimal Relationships Daily, and also host of the Optimal Living Advice Show, Greg Audino, and welcome back to the show that brings you some of the best relationship content online. Parenting episodes, as you know, are usually kept for the end of the week. Today is no exception, where I will be narrating a post on how to go the extra mile when getting your kids to set goals. This could be the turning point that helps your child not just set, but succeed at their goals. So, let's get into the post and start optimizing your life. Don't just teach your kids to set goals, teach them to do this, by Kalen Bruce of freedomsprout.com. You know the goal-setting basics. You must set goals and write them down and look at them daily, etc. And you know about SMART goals, right? Goals should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. I'm not saying any of that is wrong, but goals won't get you anywhere on their own. A lot of books on goal setting refer to a 1953 Yale study, where 3% of the class had written goals and concrete plans, 13% just had written goals, and 84% didn't have goals at all. Well, 10 years later, the 13% were earning twice as much as the 84%, and the 3% were making 10 times as much. There you have it. Write down your goals and you'll be rich. Oh, but one thing. That study doesn't actually exist. And the 1979 Harvard MBA Business School study that had basically the same results probably doesn't exist either. It doesn't appear to. The reason everyone accepted these studies so easily is because they make sense. It makes sense that clear direction leads to more success. The clearer the direction, the more successful. That seems to be true, but these studies led to the idea that if you write your goals down, you basically can't go wrong. But if all you do is write your goals down, you're already failing. I'm not trying to share some new secret. I'm actually being super practical here. Goals don't get you anywhere. They show you where you want to go, sure. But to actually achieve anything, you've got to focus on systems. But first, let's talk about what everything I write about comes back to. Mindset. The Magic of Thinking Big. The Magic of Thinking Big is the title of one of my favorite books. It's pretty easy to guess what it's about. Big thinking isn't instilled in children like it should be. I know we tell our kids that they can be anything they want, and they can do anything, and they have no limits. But then graduation approaches, and we start telling them about the real world, and how they must go to college to get a good job, and how they need to think about their future. But we say it with a realistic tone. By realistic, I mean safe, comfortable, and with a low bar. The fact is, our kids can do anything they set their mind to. We shouldn't put boundaries on them. We should let them dream and help them accomplish the lofty things they set out to accomplish. That all starts with thinking big. Let your kids think big, even when they're about to graduate high school. But how do they achieve? How do they attain what they're focused on? Systems. Systems, not goals. Goals aren't bad. The problem is it's difficult to set goals because we don't know what we're capable of. And more often than not, we limit ourselves with low goals. You can set a goal to write a book. You can even set a SMART goal to write a 250-page New York Times best-selling book about breeding golden retrievers by December 31st, 2021. But what does that do? It gives you a direction to head, but how do you get there? Again, systems. Systems work whether you set goals or not. Goals give you something to look forward to, but systems are much more important. We can teach our kids to dream big and set goals, but without the systems to back it up, nothing is going to happen. Your goal may be to write that book, but your system is writing for 2 hours at a specific time, in a specific place every single day. It's easy to say you want to write a book. It's much harder to stick with a system, even when you don't feel like it. This is how we build positive habits, by repeating the task day in, day out, and that is what kids need to understand. How to help kids build systems. Kids already have systems. They eat at regular times. They brush their teeth. Hopefully they bathe regularly. They may even have a regular playtime or a regular reading time. Those are all systems. The easiest way to track systems is to write them down. I don't see the benefit in writing down the same goal every day, but I do see the benefit in starting a system and journaling daily to keep track of it. Encourage your kids to journal their systems. So, how do they get started? How do you get started? First, figure out where they want to go and what they want to do. If they want to be an athlete, help them set an exercise system that meets their goals. If they want to be a writer, help them set a writing schedule. If they want to go to college before they do anything else, help them set a regular schedule of applying for scholarships. To implement a system, all you need is a schedule, the same time and place each day. It's important for kids to understand to not miss days when they're doing this, at least no more than 2 days in a row. Special circumstances come up, and this shouldn't be a religious act, but instill the mindset of always showing up. How to balance goals and systems. Goals aren't that important if you have a solid system in place. For example, if you're writing for 2 hours a day, eventually you'll have a book in front of you. But it's not a bad idea to set a deadline and an ultimate goal of finishing the book. You do need the direction to know what finished looks like. And I'm definitely not saying you shouldn't ever have goals. The problem comes in when people focus on their goals instead of focusing on their systems. Help your kids set goals when they're interested in it, but more importantly, get them to understand the importance of systems, because that's what gets them where they want to go. If you want to help your kids set goals, that's perfectly fine. But focusing on the goal and not the system isn't going to accomplish anything. It takes 5 minutes to set and write down a goal. There's no harm in that. But there is harm in not taking the action that achieves the goal. Teach your kids to have clear direction, to know what they want in life. But more importantly, teach them how to get it, how to put in the work. Teach your kids to have grit. You just listened to the post titled, "Don't Just Teach Your Kids to Set Goals, Teach Them to Do This," by Kalen Bruce of freedomsprout.com. Big thanks to Kalen. Really important stuff here. Not only are systems in action crucially important as referenced, but it should go without saying that instilling this lifestyle within children at a young and impressionable age only makes it easier for them to maintain it as adults. Habits and systems can fall apart and do need adjustments from time to time, though, so that's something else to be aware of, as sometimes it can be easy to get unhealthily attached to systems as they are, if you will. But enough from the peanut gallery. That's a wrap for today, folks. Once again, thanks so much to Kalen from Freedom Sprout for a wonderful article. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you again tomorrow with the final post of the week, where your optimal life awaits.